There was no shortage of questions about Alberta's newly announced October referendum during Premier Danielle Smith's Saturday morning call-in radio show. While the referendum will have Albertans voting on 9 questions surrounding both constitutional and non-constitutional issues, the one on immigration policy jurisdiction, specifically between the provincial and federal governments, remained the hot-button issue.
We need to be able to identify people who have the skills that are needed for the jobs that are open, have a pathway for them to get a work permit, and then ultimately become a provincial nominee to get permanent residence. And then the federal government, at some point in time, when they seek citizenship, that's the federal government's role. It's upside down and backwards. We don't have any control.
Smith says she's been consistent in her messaging to the feds, calling on them to prioritize economic immigrants, and also addressed part of the referendum, which asks Albertans to vote on amending non-permanent residents' access to provincial support programs, along with healthcare and education.
Well, the problem is that we have so many temporary newcomers, whether it's international students, asylum seekers who may or may not get their asylum approved, as well as temporary foreign workers, and many of who are low skill. And we have to look at that and say, why should somebody who's here temporarily have access to all the same social programs as somebody who's made a permanent commitment to Alberta and to Canada? It doesn't make sense.
Smith also addressed criticisms that the timing of the October referendum is politically motivated, as it's a year before the provincial election, but backed her stance that it's about strengthening Alberta's negotiating position with Ottawa and giving Albertans the opportunities to have their voices heard on pressing issues.
Because Ottawa continues to interfere in our jurisdiction. And sometimes when they're passing laws, they do it badly. And so when they do things badly, we think that we should be asserting ourselves to take over those areas.
The referendum vote will take place on October 19th.